Here we go into the rumor zone. Somehow, despite the failure of Concord being the most tremendous failure in history, and likely the biggest failure of a single video game ever, there is talk of the game coming back. Yes, Concord is still Steam updating, and no matter how I scratch my skull, even I can't come up with a reason for this beyond those absolute mad lads might be planning a comeback. Of course, I absolutely support this. Remember to go to social media and hashtag Concord, even if your message has nothing to do with it. I want to see if we can Morbius this trash back into existence. And before you call me crazy, both are made by Sony. On one hand, this is a $400 million project. Will everyone realize it's a sunk cost fallacy, and that any more money spent will not make that money back? Let's be honest. If you just put $400 million into something, and still thought in your head you could make it back, would you be able to drop it? These people are delusional. They think this game is amazing. This lore is worth making extended content on. They think this is Sony's Star Wars. In their mind, they're blaming the made-up enemy of ultra-far-right people for brainwashing a billion gamers into hating woke games. That the reality is almost everyone just wants to gobble on the filthy knob of the woke cult, and the only thing stopping them is toxic content creators on YouTube. Yes, this sounds absolutely batshit insane, but listen to them. This is what they actually believe. This is what they tell themselves and each other. And in their little echo chambers in the Sony offices, everyone believes this. And anyone who doesn't knows their head is on a pike if they ever point this out. But on the other reasonable hand, it's over. There is zero chance this game will ever succeed. Sure, the animation quality was good, but everything else was not. The gameplay was serviceable. Level design, serviceable. Modes, serviceable. But at a baseline structural level, that means this game, even if otherwise perfectly executed, could only ever be an alright game that might hit 500,000 sales. Something that most games would consider a success, but would still be a massive failure at that size of a budget. And everything else was a nightmare. This is not a situation where they can replace every single horrible-looking character with models that look like Eve from Stellar Blade or First Descendant, not that they would ever do that, and it will make $400 million revenue after Steam's cut, because the hero shooter part of the game is lackluster. And if you are needing to redo everything in the game, why would you even keep the tarnished name of Concord? If there's anything salvageable, perhaps in the engine and gameplay elements, just take them and use them to make a full new game, if you learned your lesson. But until Sony stops forcing censorship and using type A and B for gender, I'm not even going to pretend Sony learned one thing from this massive failure. But Sony, don't listen to me. I'm talking logic and facts. I'm talking about an audience that you clearly have no interest in, steeped in toxic gamer history. Listen to the little activist voices on your shoulders. The modern audience is in fact in the room with you, and they know best. Do it. Because I can't wait for John Concord to take center stage once more and Concord all over us.